Hello my dear friends, so welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, let's try to understand karma connectivity with the retrograde planets, specifically in the marriage and the married life aspect. Although retrograde planets have the capacity to create greater impact in your career, in your money, wealth, even in the spiritual side of the life, but in today's video, my prime focus is going to be over the relationships and the marriage part and how these retrograde energies have the capacity to create an impact up there. Now, before actually going into the retrograde planets and even the marriage part, I would like to discuss with you the karma connectivity that I'm going to discuss with you. Now, first of all, there are different kind of karmas that are connected when it comes to relationships or the marriage part. The yogas of divorce, separation, this is also one form of a karma which is connected with one person. Secondly, any sort of breakup like situations that is happening. So you are staying in one relationship with one person for particular duration of time. It may depend from chart to chart, person to person. It may be from 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Sometimes the relationships are going to be much longer. Like it may be 10 years or 15 years, and then suddenly that person is actually going away from your life. So these parts are also comes under the karma connectivity. Next important thing is some good karmas, like you are going to receive lot of money, wealth, fortune, these things into your life as soon as you encounter some sort of relationship. Or maybe on other hand, these relationships have the capacity to give you some mental setbacks also. Even any sort of one-sided love, like only you love that person and the other person is not going to love you back. Even there are going to be some different karmas, like you are married with someone right now, maybe your husband or your wife actually. But still you are having some past connectivity with someone and that person from the past is coming back into your life. And I have seen these things nowadays very commonly in many horoscopes actually. In doing consultations also, these ideas actually trigger in my mind, like why these things are happening and why retrograde planets are actually creating that yogas. Like if the yogas of separation are there, why still the same person is repeating, why the same person is manifesting back into your life, or why this is going to be more of an on and off kind of a relationship. Like for 2-3 months, the relationship is going very good and then some breakages are there for next 2-3 months, and then you will think like that, okay, this relationship is gone, and once again the same relationship start. So why these things are happening? This is known as the karmic connectivity, and you can easily study these kind of karmic connectivity specifically with the retrograde planets. Now when I speak about retrograde planets, it includes Rahu and Ketu also. Although they are always in the retrograde motions, so the planetary conjunction of Rahu and Ketu, specifically with Venus, Jupiter, 7th house lord, 5th house lord, even with the 8th house lord. So they are going to play a very important role in order for you to analyze the results into much deeper way. And don't think like that, like in my chart there is no retrograde planet except Rahu and Ketu. So there is not going to be any karma which is going to play it out in my life also. Because still aspects, conjunctions are going to be there in Vedic Astrology. So it differs from chart to chart. Once again, I repeat, it differs from one particular chart to some other person chart. Maybe in some charts, there are going to be a long lasting relationships and then breakups. Maybe someone's chart is having the relationships in the old age that is coming. Initial relationships are not that much fructifying. Or maybe some persons that are actually getting married after the age of 50, 60. Even in their late 70s also, I have seen marriages take place, okay. So all these things comes under the categorization of the karmic connectivity. Now how to study actually, and how to make predictions, how to look into the timings now. Like we understand this is the karma connectivity and retrograde planets have something to do with that part. But how to look into your own astrological charts and then determine what kind of karmas are coming from which area, which direction, and which areas of my life is getting specifically impacted a lot. Now, as you already know, there are total 12 houses in Vedic Astrology, and suppose there are maybe any planet, Jupiter retrograde in your chart, maybe in the 11th house. Okay, I'm just taking one example so that you can understand this part. Now, for example, the one planet Jupiter is retrograde posited in your 11th house. So first of all, you need to check the zodiac sign placement of Jupiter and even the zodiac signs which are controlled by Jupiter. Like first of all, look where the sign of Sagittarius and where the sign of Pisces is posited. And then check these two houses, like where the sign of Sagittarius is falling in which house. It may be you are a Pisces ascendant, so it may be the first house and the 10th house. So look at the zodiac signs of the retrograde planet, where that are falling. Now that is the house which is going to bear the most impact in your life. And now secondly, you need to understand if Jupiter is going in the 11th house is also getting impacted, but at the same time, the planet Jupiter is going to aspect, like Drishti I'm talking about, because retrograde planets are also going to maybe aspect 5 places away, 9 and 7 places away. So these areas, first of all, they are actually getting deeply impacted. But the maximum heaviness of karma is only going to be felt where the retrograde planet is posited. So if it is posited in the 11th house, so heaviness of karma is going to be felt on that particular area. I understand if Jupiter is aspecting different houses, you will still feel some impact, but that is not going to be much deeper impact. Even the zodiac signs that are controlled by planet Jupiter, Sagittarius and Pisces, so that is also going to have some impact. But where retrograde planet is actually posited, this house represents certain heaviness of karmas into your life. Now you need to start studying in this way. Pick up your horoscope, look which planet are retrograde in my chart. Because retrograde simply means committing same mistakes again and again in my life. Commitment of similar kind of a mistakes. You commit one mistake, but you fail to take the learnings from that mistake and again committing the same mistake. It's not applicable only in relationships. It's applicable into the other career or maybe financial part as well. Like you are committing some financial mistake and then committing again and again. But specifically when it comes to the marriage and relationship part, suppose you commit one mistake. By mean to say committing mistakes, that might going to be a failure in the relationship. So we can consider this thing failure as a mistake, okay? So there might going to be some mistake from your end and some mistakes from other person end. Maybe your bondage is not that much stronger, or sometime even the bond is much stronger, but still the person is separating. Still they are creating the yogas of separation. Although it totally depends over the compatibility between both of you, like up to which level this bond is created. It may be on the emotional level, love level, spiritual level, or it's going much deeper than the intimate level as well. So it differs, as I told you, it differs from chart to chart. So first of all, you need to identify up to what extent that a relationship have gone in my life. And suppose after 3 years of a happy relationship that suddenly that relationship ended, okay? Now when that relationship breakage is happening, one karma is burnt, okay? Single karma is getting burnt. It totally depends over the strength of that planet also. Whether the planet is exalted and then retrograde, debilitated and then retrograde, posited in the positive or maybe malefic or benefic houses and then retrograde. Because if the planets are particularly exalted in their own zodiac signs, even in the exaltation zodiac signs, it means failures are going to be a bit high as compared to some normal person. So suppose other person is failing 5 attempts and then receiving something, it means you need to fail 10 times in order to achieve the same thing. Because the final destination where these retrograde energies are taking you is actually towards the path of perfection. And that perfection will only come after consistent failures. Continuously you are failing in one relation, then second, then third. You might going to be thinking like, why this is happening with me? Like there is not my fault. But I will tell you, even if you are failing in one relationship, in sustaining some relationship, still some learnings are going to be in your way. And without retrograde energies, it becomes very difficult for you to learn something. That is why every person have Rahu and Ketu somewhere posited in their chart. So that is the biggest lessons you people need to learn in this present life. If it is in the 2nd and 8th house, so biggest life lessons are going to be from the family side, or maybe 8th house, that have the capacity to transform you. I've already created the separate playlist over the malefic and benefic axis, so you can watch that part. So in the similar manner, retrograde planets house placement is going to describe the kind of karmas, or where the karmas are actually coming and that are going to create impact in my life. Now when it comes to the timings part, actually, like if you want to check if like when the relationship is going to fail, or when one karma is going to end so that new karma is going to start, directly look into the transits also. Although without checking Vimshotri Mahadasha, Antardasha, I will not recommend you to directly jump into transit, but still look into the transits of the major planets actually. Transit of Saturn, Jupiter, even the transit of Venus also, Mercury also, that is also going to play a very important role. So whenever the planets, major planets and even the benefic planets, they are going retrograde in the sky, it means in that particular duration, you are going to feel the heaviness of karma up there. Now when I say heaviness of karma, it might going to be some new karma is getting connected, new bondage is forming, or some previous bondage is getting breaked away. And that is also, some people might going to call it like, is it a predestined thing, or is there something based over the free will also? Now I will answer this question also. There are some drid karmas in every person's life. Drid karma simply mean the fixed karma, which you have no capacity to change in your life. Like you have no capacity to change your parents, to change your siblings, to change your kids also. So these karmas are not actually getting changed at any cost. You have no capacity to decide who is going to become my father and who is going to become my mother. So it means that part is not going to be over your free will. That is where the destiny is going to play a very important role. And similarly, when it comes to these failed relationships also that you are encountering in your life, and after multiple attempts, finally you get one relationship, maybe at the age of 45 or sometime 50 also, or sometime maybe initially also, maybe at the age of 35 you get that relationship, and then you will think like that, okay, now I'm feeling totally blessed in my life. So that sort of blessings, or that sort of final say, is actually going to be coming when all the karmas, they are actually getting burnt away in your life. And the timings of when that karmas are going to be totally burnt away is also somewhat connected with the maturity age of the planet. This is the first part which you need to check. Like I'm going to give you maturity age of all the planets here. Jupiter mature at the age of 16. Sun mature at the age of 21. Moon mature at the age of 24. Venus mature around 25. Mars mature at the age of 28. Mercury mature at the age of 32. Saturn 36. Rahu 42 and Ketu 48. Okay. So I believe I have covered all the planets. Yeah, Moon and Venus 24 and 26. I missed one of them. So these are the maturity ages of planets. Now depending over which planet is actually getting retrograde, it means either the ending of some karma or the starting of new karma is interlinked with the maturity age. This is the simplest way to make predictions. Second is more precise method where you need to look into the Mahadasha, Antardasha, and then combining with the transit actually. Specifically Antardasha, look into the Antardasha. Suppose we are going through the Antardasha of Venus, and Venus is retrograde in your horoscope. Now if during that Antardasha, Venus in the sky is going retrograde, this is going to show that impact in that particular area, or on that particular date. This shows that karmas are there. Now, retrograde energies are not only going to impact in the marriage part, this will also going to create a lot of heaviness of karmas inside you particularly. And wherever the retrograde planet is positioned in your horoscope, you feel a bit restricted from that particular area of your life. And you will see some energy is stopping me to reaching my 100% potential up there. It may be retrograde planets are positioned in the 10th house of your career. So you will always feel inside like something is there which is stopping me to exploring my 100% potential in the career. Or maybe retrograde planets are posited maybe in your 5th house, so that is the house of your education, or maybe the house of children also. So you might going to feel bit constrained and restricted when it comes to obtaining a child, or maybe at the time of your education also. So it shows that some sort of a restrictions are going to be there that have the capacity to control you, which have the capacity to then create the heaviness of karmas inside you. Now, the very best way to actually deal with these retrograde energies is, first of all, you need to openly accept it, first of all, okay? Don't neglect it. Acceptance is the first step towards the cure of something. Now, if you are not accepting, okay, I'm having failed relationships, and if you are not accepting, so you first of all, you need to accept it, okay? You need to start accepting your own mistakes also, rather than complaining for other person like this mistake is committed by my other half, or maybe if she can give some hand, so maybe we can survive our relationship. Don't do blame game here, okay? First thing, you need to accept it, okay? I have accepted it, and as a spiritual person or as a spiritual being, okay, there are going to be certain mistakes in my life also, from my side also. And second part is, you need to create a very open-mindedness and try to become non-judgmental here. When I say non-judgmental, retrograde planets are here to teach you some of the important lessons of your life, because I told you the final game of retrograde is to take you towards the dead end of perfection actually. Now suppose there is one failure, second, third, fourth, fifth, and maybe multiple failures are coming in your life. It means you are moving one step closer towards the path of perfection. So here the more and more open-mindedness that you are going to keep inside you without being judgmental. Don't think like that if the first relationship is not working, so second is not going to work. Or if my first 2 relationships are bad, so third is also going to be bad. Don't become a closed-minded personality if these karmas are connected in your life. Try to become a very open-minded person when it comes to the relationship-related karmas. Because the more openness that you are going to see without being judgmental, then the process is going to eventually start where the positive urja or the positive energy you are going to attract in your life. Retrograde planets are not actually the bad planets. Don't think like that they are doing these things to, or maybe like they want to punish me. They don't want to punish you. They actually want to take you on a path of some sort of perfection where you will be able to understand the time of other person, you will be able to understand the true value. Like what is the value? If, for example, you were born with retrograde planets in the 7th house, it means in the previous birth you have not valued your partner, or you have not valued that part. That is why the retrograde planet is there, so that you can start valuing that thing in this present life. If retrograde are in the 1st house, maybe 2nd house of money, it means you have not valued your family or money. So that is why in this present life, the major karmas are connected with that particular area, so that you will be able to understand the value of that particular house into your life. And in this way, you can deal with the retrograde energies. And don't take it in the negative side. This is a positive message which I'm sending you, every person who have felt heartbroken in their life, on and off relationship, going through divorces, or any such kind of a thing. Be very open-mindedness, okay? And as I told you from the timings part, look into the transit plus the combination of Antardasha and even the maturity age of sometime planets. They are also going to decide when the new relationship is coming into your life. So I hope you have gained some unique perspective in this video with me. If you are having any queries, any consultations, you can feel free to contact me at my email ID. Any marriage, career, spiritual, business consultation, do let me know. I will try my best to respond to you back as soon as possible. So till then, please subscribe my channel below. Make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, bye-bye and Hare Krishna.